On this video, I'm going to show you the best trailers for a swim jig. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I am fishing shallow. It's a beautiful spring day. It's a little bit cold, I'll be honest. I had to bundle up a little bit and put a jacket on. But still, the water is high here on Chickamauga. As you can see behind me, we got a lot of those yellow flowers on the shoreline. And when the water gets in those yellow flowers, man, during the spring, that's a good sign that you need to be fishing pretty shallow. And a swim jig like this sucker right here, or the one I'm about to tie on, this one right here, are really good presentations to just cover water and catch fish during the spring. The two jigs that I really like are the core tackle swim jig right here. I didn't bring it one of the bluegill pattern ones, so I'm switching to this one right here. And this is the Z-Man snakehead swim jig. Both of them designed to be swam around shallow cover. Both of them are very optimized for this type of scenario. This one's really unique, the core tackle one, because it's got this weight that is dispersed. And when you pause the bait, it doesn't go nose down like all other swim jigs. It actually has a little bit of a glide to it. So really, really cool swim jig. But we're switching to this one because I needed the bluegill pattern color. But anyways, one of the special things about a swim jig is the fact that you can mix and match the different types of soft plastic trailers to accomplish a different profile, a different action, or even a different color combination. And so you can do a lot with the swim jig and the trailer options out there. It's more of a system than it is a specific bait. So you got to really pay attention to the types of trailers that you use. And I wanted to show you three different options that really cover all the bases for me. These are the three different types of trailers that I use on a regular basis. And we'll start with one that is more of a what we call a do-nothing trailer. It doesn't have any inherent action by itself. You know, you can impart a lot of action to it, but it doesn't have any swimming appendages, no curl tails or paddle tails or anything like that. And that is a chunk style trailer. This right here is the Z-Man Bat Wings. The Bat Wings just has a lot of surface area. It's got those you know, those appendages that you know, they don't really move or anything, but they've got a lot of action if you impart the action yourself. And they just look like a natural crawfish or even a bluegill type profile. A do-nothing chunk like this can work really good all the time, but I really like to use it the majority of the time when it's colder. You know, when you got colder water, when the swim jig bite is just turning on, this is a really, really good option, because when the water's cold, you don't want a ton of action in a trailer, because that's just not natural to see. Bass are used to seeing prey species that are a little bit more sluggish. They're just a little bit you know, slower overall because the water is colder. So I like to use a chunk style trailer mid, or you know, a sub 60 degree temp. So like in the 55 to 60 degree range. That's generally when you start to see a swim jig bite, and but it's still kind of on the cold end of the spectrum. The next trailer that I like, and all of these that I'm talking about, including the swim jigs that I like to use, are going to be in the description, or the description below. I got all the affiliate links down there, so you can check these out on Tackle Warehouse. The next one is really a great one all around. I mean, this one right here is really tailor-made to be put on the back of a swim jig, and that is some sort of twin tail grub. Now, this is not your traditional like curl tail grub that you're used to seeing. This right here is the Z-Man Goat, and it was designed to be a grub, but it's, instead of these curl tails, it's actually got these twin paddle tails on the back that create a lot of action. But this bait right here has such a good profile that imitates both crawfish and bluegill and even shad extremely well, and has just the perfect amount of action. I do like to use this bait when I need a little bit more lift, because it is very bulky. It does tend to pull up towards the surface a little bit more. So if I'm trying to get deeper, it may not be the one that I like to use the most. But if I'm fishing real shallow cover, water's pretty dingy, It has just the right amount of you know, density and thickness and buoyancy to work very well in those scenarios. But this can be a really good one to use overall. And there's two different ways that I actually rig this. If I'm just trying to cover water, maybe imitate shad or just bluegill, and I'm not really fishing around the heaviest of cover, I'll fish it vertical like this, so the tails are on top of each other, okay? But if I'm fishing around a lot of wood and I want to be able to fish through that wood without snagging very much, or I want a little bit more lift, I'll rig it horizontal where the kick and feet are side by side, and that allows this bait to come through wood a lot better, because it kind of forces the hook not to roll on its side and snag on that cover as much as if I rigged it like this. Okay, so that's just like a little fine-tuned detail that you know, occasionally I'll do. The final bait that I want to show you is actually a bait that I have to trim down. It's not designed for the back of a swim jig to be a trailer on a swim jig, but it works really well as a trailer on a swim jig, and that is the turbo fatties. So the turbo fatties from Z-Man is actually a swimming worm that I helped design. This is the rest of it, so just add about 1.5 inches onto that. I trim it down, and what I found was that you know, this kick and tail that is on the back of the turbo fatties is just the perfect action for a swim jig. And so I like to cut it down about 1.5 inches and put it on the back of the swim jig, and it just swims perfect. I mean, it just looks great under the water, and I get a ton of bites on it. So honestly, out of all the swim jig trailers that I use, I probably use this one the most, and it wasn't even designed to be on the back of a swim jig. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to show you the 3 different options I like to use on a regular basis. You know, it doesn't even have to be specifically Z-Man. You know, you can go out there and there's a lot of different great designs, but stick within these different categories: the chunk style trailers, the twin tail grub style trailers, and the you know, boot tail style swim bait or swimming worm trailers. Those are going to work really well on the back of a swim jig. But check out all the links I got in the description below for all the products we talked about. Other than that, get a swim jig on your rod, get out there on the water, and start catching some spring bass. It's a lot of fun. I'll see you guys out on the water. Trust the process.